freedom. Sometimes the world they shake. You stand for truth, you talk your mind. Say every people deserve their shine. But the road turned dark, the night come quick. Dream where they burn make the chains feel thick. Yet his eyes still they speak courage. Even when the walls around him rage. His story no be just one man's fight. Not cry of a people wanting light. No matter how far them lock his door, the soul where they fight goes still rise more. Your voice still they call. Even if the night feel like it won't end at all. Chains fit by the body, but never a dream. Your hope still they flow like a rising stream. You ask for freedom with a fearless heart. Even when the pain you know, back down or depart. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, your name be echo of truth. A reminder that justice still gets work to do. Biafra, they pray with tears for eyes. Say God go answer you, he no go lie. People, they whisper songs for road. Carry your story like a sacred load. Life it's wound, but truth no die. Even for chains, your spirit still fly. History, they write itself for night. But one sunrise, we restore the rise. Storm no, they last forever long. Very soon do we go rise strong. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, your voice still they call. Even if the night feel like it won't end at all. Chains fit by the body, but never the truth. Your hope still they flow like a rising storm. You ask for freedom with a fearless heart. Even when the pain you know, back down or depart. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, your name be echo of truth. A reminder that justice still gets work to do. If tears could break iron, if prayers fit open doors, your people will carry you home. We hold faith, we hold hope steady. Oh, your voice still rise beyond the bars, like a cry where go reach the stars. Oh, Nnamdi Kanu, freedom still they call your name.
Land, oh. Good evening, good morning, and good night, depending on your time zone. This is Biafra Radio. I'm reaching you out from United Kingdom. This is 8 minutes on top of the hour, 8 p.m. here, United Kingdom. This 8 minutes on top of the hour is 8 p.m. in Biafra land. And today is the 5th day, year of our Lord, April 2026. And we're reaching you out from United Kingdom, North London to be precise. This evening, as we have scheduled this evening to come up on air to do justice to most of the things that is pertinent to Biafrans. Now, tonight is going to be all about accountability. We want to break down some issues that is bothering within IPOB and those that have singing the song of accountability, those that are questioning our leader that have been in prison since 2015. And I think it's important tonight, probably I'm going to find the audio that Onyendu played when he asked Madam Nenyanya to pull IPOB account. If you remember, this happened in America. For those of you, the same method they used in 2015, they're bringing it up, calling him $1 million. This individual have not contributed a dime in IPOB. But before I say that and move forward this evening, I have my co-host here, which is Mazi, Lawman, and Mazi Takano is with me as well. And we have a guest as well, which is not yet in the studio. So when he shows up, we'll bring the person in, Mazi Okenta, if I'm not mistaken. But tonight, we want to dive into the finance of IPOB and what has transpired, because a lot has happened since our leader was renditioned. And tonight, we are going to go straight to the issues of what happened in Umeh account. Subsequently, the formal account we have in America before Onyendu was renditioned, and what transpired at account. And Umeh account, bear in mind, it has not been accounted today. Nobody knows how much went into that account. All we know is that the money they moved from the former previous account to that Umeh account, nobody knows how much was generated in that Umeh account, because Chike Doziem actually defined every old account, that account which was not approved by our leader. But before we proceed, I'm going to bring Mazi Takano and my co-host on video. They can introduce themselves before we continue. Mazi Lawman, if you can introduce yourself, move forward.
Very well. Yeah, greetings, Biafrans all over the world, friends of Biafrans, lovers of freedom and conscientious people worldwide. I must not forget those people who are also listening from the basements, their respective basements. Of course, they are listening. Let me just welcome them, because I must have to spread my tentacles as our leader normally does. So greetings to you as well. It could be good evening, it could be afternoon, it could be morning, wherever you are. This is Biafra Radio transmitting from London. Thank you very much. This is Mazi Lawman, Obichie. Thank you for tuning in. Mazi, go ahead.
There were Mazi Takano. Please, can you introduce yourself, please? Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, Biafrans and people of goodwill. It's a pleasure to have all of you today in today's program. And I have to say, to those that are celebrating Easter, I have to say Happy Easter to you people. And my name is Takano. I reside in Germany. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi Takano. Like I lightly said, this evening, I was going to go straight to the point. Mazi, but before we go, last week we discovered something on Company's House here, which we're going to, go head on with those that have perpetrated those heinous crime. But this evening, what we want to talk about this evening is about what transpired in Umeh account. Because Umeh account was not approved by our leader. And most importantly, for those people that are questioning and asking for accountability on things they know nothing about. Now, this is the crimes that Chike Doziem and his cohort, his cronies have done in IPOB. And they knew that IPOB have three heads, which is the head of the Directorate of State, head of finance, and head of media. And these three heads are intertwined, but every single one of them answerable directly to our leader before they start meddling into things, because they are the one that brought all this chaos within IPOB, because this is an agenda they knew from onset. And we'll give you some evidence tonight. Some of them made a confession personally. But before I will start to play things that have to happen, we need to play a couple of videos before we go into the issues to show you some documents, what happened actually. And firstly, consign finance in IPOB. Like some of us that get confused about what IPOB stands for. And IPOB, we have only one code of conduct, which I'm going to flash tonight. One code of conduct is what's guiding IPOB. There's no other two code of conduct until if Onyendu decide to do some amendment, indeed, it is consigned, that's our leader. And I want to say it tonight categorically. Chike Doziem was not meant to sign our code of conduct because Onyendu wouldn't sign it, only pass it down to his deputy. These are one of the things that kicked Uchemofo out of IPOB. Uchemofo, the devil possesses Uchemofo for mere things that he could have walked away. But when a man thinks, just like some of all these guys that run around now, questioning the authority of our supreme leader, I feel sorry for all of you because I know the devil have possessed all of you. So the code of conduct is there to guide IPOB. And whether you like it or not, it does not matter how you feel about it. It doesn't matter whom you are. That is the guidance of principle that guides IPOB, which they change. And in this document I'm going to flash, the person that masterminded all this whole thing is Ejiofor. These are things people didn't know. Ejiofor was the real mole that came into IPOB. Because he's going to hear from Madam Oyibo, who authorized him without Ejiofor seeing Onyendu. Ejiofor was issuing authorization without our consent of our leader. Your client, that's why you see him today jumping up and down like an antelope, doing backdoors interviews as if there's anybody owed him anything. You brought into IPOB as a lawyer and your service is finished. When they leave your office, you move on with another job. Go and get a new job if you want anything, because I know you're worthless. Now, I want to play Onyendu's voice based on IPOB finance and who is in charge of IPOB finance. It's very, very important to lay this foundation.
Anytime you get a call from our sister Nene, then you know you're in very serious trouble, you have done something wrong. Please make sure that our accounting and our audit is up to date. I do not understand the reluctance of some individuals in the US to remit the money that people have contributed to ESN. I don't understand the reason why you're holding it. I don't know what for. Please. And I have maintained that any account that we have that Nene cannot see, I do not trust that very account. As long as he doesn't see it, I will not trust it. And very, very soon, I will shut down every account that Nene cannot see.
Biafra Alpha Power Media.
This is for the people that are questioning what Madam Nene is doing. And they know these things I'm talking about here. These people knows this. Not even Uchemofo could question what Madam Nene was doing. Now, this is our leader, made it clear. So we're laying foundation. Why we are doing all this is for those that don't understand, are confused. This is for those that are confused, that don't understand what IPOB and how things has been done. So we need to help you guys out for you to understand how things actually work in IPOB. Now, I am going to now flash. Okay, let me play this audio. I played on Madam Nenyanya's Onyendu's audio and the confirmation of Onyendu's words and one of their principal servants, which is a dog that brought banking around. Listen to what he has to say when they ask him a question on one of the segments they are hosting. Listen.
We have to wait on you. Yes. Please be fast, be fast. What difference between Nenenya and those they have already sacked? That's my last question. Okay. So what's the difference between Nenenya and those that they sacked? And those that the leadership has sacked or expelled? Okay. Yeah.
Mazi, let me tell you something. In IPOB, we don't believe, one thing is that we don't believe in, just because you accuse somebody, or there is nobody in IPOB, even me, if I do something wrong, do you understand me? I don't know, many of you don't know, I have been suspended in IPOB before. I don't know, many of you don't know this. Mazi Namdekano, ask Mazi Chike Dozim, I have been suspended in IPOB DOS before by Mazi Namdekano through Mazi Chike Dozim. Many of you don't know that. Did anybody hear the voice? There was a reason that Middle East at that time were delaying in limiting their money because they were having challenges of limiting money from the Middle East. Even till today. And Onyendu suspended me. Ask Mazi Chike Dozim. So if I had me, the people you sack, the person you are calling, forget about assumption. Onyendu is there. When the time comes, I am not in the financial department, and I'm not believing anything somebody is saying. If Onyendu comes out, there is need, or if Nenenya poses a danger, people can have their disgrunt against somebody or this thing. That is also, we allow people for you. You may be taking it, sack this person, sack.
Okay, now, this is very, very important. This is Chinas Awanketa speaking. The reason why I play this audio is very, very important. This is one of the time Jonathan was hosting him, and this is someone asking this prompt question about when they were sacking people. And he can hear him rumbling. He confessed. This is one of the vendetta of China Sanwo-Olu against our leader. He was suspended because he ate IPOB money, the Kuwait money. That's one of the issues that he has. And he confessed here that nobody. So this is when they didn't know if Onyendu was going to come out or he wasn't going to come out. But now they have arrived. He's telling you that Onyendu is there. But today you can see where they're shifting ground. The reason why I play this voice is for you guys to confirm what they have said or what they haven't said. Because our leader is the one that put these individuals, and including China Sanwo-Olu, Onyendu have suspended him because the money that was meant to limit, he didn't limit it. All the things he's talking about is verbal. Now, I want to show you guys one thing very, very important tonight, because I'm going to share something. First of all, this is very significant for those that are confused within IPOB. We only have one code of conduct. Only one code of conduct. We don't have two. There's no two code of conduct in IPOB. For some of you that are getting confused. You don't have to get confused when it comes to issue like this. And anybody telling you that there's another code of conduct that replaces this one, you need to ask the person question, how did that happen? And who authorized it? Yeah? Because at the end of the day, everything that governs IPOB is embedded in this code of conduct here, which, ironically, Chike Dozim signed it, authorized by Mazi Namdekano. He's the signatory there. So that is why whatever Chike Dozim did today is a crime against humanity. Whatever he has done. Right? Everybody can subside this code of conduct. I'm flashing it again tonight that it is only one code of conduct that we have. And when it comes to section Section 3, subsection A, finance, is stated it there rightly clearly. Very clearly, he said to ensure financial, he said to ensure that financial probity and transparency, the IPOB head of finance or treasury shall have electronic access to all finance accounts set up internationally or national, either directly by IPOB or by its agent or representative. This is very, very pivotal that we understand this. And this is where the problem started. All this whole thing, they define it, and Chikedozian was aware of this. Chikedozian was aware of this. This is a chronicle of a saboteur, Chikedozian. Now, if you go to this very one that is down there, because everything they do on the unit, every principal servant of IPOB, from unit coordinator up to the highest level of coordination, must adhere very strictly to this code of conduct by ensuring that they report all cases and at all times to their immediate superior, except on case of on complaint against the immediate superior officers, in which case they shall send a written complaint to the next superior officer, because no one is above the law the way it's been structured. Chikedozian is there as the administrative. And now, if you come down to the section 2, IPOB command and control policy is there, rightly there. It's not, there's nothing there. And that's why I highlight all these things here. Yeah? And he said the power of appoint, suspend, or dismissal every principal officers vests exclusively on the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, in bracket IPOB, Onyendu, Mazi, and except to the extent he clearly and expressively delegated the power to any other principal officers. So I have flashed this tonight for everybody to see. We do not have another code of conduct. We only have one code of conduct. And this is what is guiding IPOB. So I want this to be very, very clear. If you don't have this code of conduct, we can make it available to everybody to have it. Now, we want to go into the main thing. Or Mazi Kanunta, is there anything you want to say, or Mazi, before we now start with the main thing that we are here? Ihachina Sanworu's voice and what I have shown. And this our code of conduct is something that we need to re-emphasize to people to then realize we do not have any other code of conduct. We only have one code of conduct. This is for the purpose of those that are confused. There's no need to be.
Thank you very much. It's very, very simple, like you said. We only have one code of conduct, and not two, and not three. The same applies to the oaths we are taking. We have one oath, but it appears they organize their own few people, and give them another oath they took and give them another code of conduct. Like I said, I have been waiting to see that code of conduct, or for anybody to challenge me with that code of conduct. Then I will put that person where he or she belongs to. There are stupid mistakes these guys are making, and they don't even know the implications of that. You can't wake up and go and change something because you are told your leader is not going to come out of detention, is not going to make it alive. Like that sacked lawyer, their leader, the leader of DSS, DOS leadership, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, told them. And that is exactly what they were working on. So they should understand that IPOB has only one code of conduct. Of course, I call it IPOB Bible. That is final, And IPOB has only one oath. So any person following these people, taking a different oath, they are giving you another code of conduct. Be rest assured you're on your own. He can do it to people, like I said. I still want that to be presented in Europe. Then the person that signed it will challenge that person in the appropriate way. Thank you, Mazi.
Yeah, Mazi Lawman, please. If there's anything you want to add?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as you had put forward, the irony it's very clear that this same person whose name is appended at the bottom of this code of conduct, himself and his cohorts, or I should say counterparts, are working in cahoots, to ensure that this code of conduct, they switch it to suit them. The other time I overheard one of them putting a line that favored them, whereas it was explicitly noted on this same code of conduct that one thing about African people, Black people, even in Nigeria, even in the zoo called Nigeria, where you have the Constitution, they would always cut out a part that favors them, But once you, maybe as an ordinary citizen, kind of bring it up wholesomely, challenging them even in court, as Onyendu would always do, the Section 36 and all that, they would want to, keep a blind eye to that. So coming back to what I'm trying to say, this code of conduct is explicitly clear. It's clear such that even a toddler can understand. But the irony is blatantly, is glaring, such that these same people, this same person who appended his name are violating the same code of conduct. So whether or not they like it, of course, I'm sure, allow me to say, if it were possible for them to either do away with it or even come up with one, they would have done same. But this code of conduct remains. And it is very clear that whomsoever that violates any section is either with what do you call it, DSS, IPOB, or they are not at all in this umbrella of Onyendu, Mazi Kano's IPOB. So this is all I have to say for now. We shall delve into the section 3 proper when the time comes to explain in details in case anybody claims they do not understand. Go ahead, Mazi.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now what I want to introduce to you, there's a particular booklet we have to unveil to you. Actually, what happened within the Umeh area account and our previous account in US that they shut down. And that shutting down that account was orchestrated by Ifeanyi Ejiofor. This is one of the lies Ifeanyi Ejiofor told while our leader still in DSS, and he could not even see Onyendu. The irony of this whole thing is that Ejiofor could not go and see Onyendu. So this particular, you can see it here, the fraud committed by Chike Doziem and Madam Oyibo, in bracket Rita Oeze, plus their cohorts. It's very, very important. We pen it properly. It's 19 July 2021, the fraud committed by Chike Doziem. And the enemy at the gate. There's a particular article that were incorporated in this. But this is where the whole thing started, if you could see, because it's being marked up. When you see retails on red, aka Madam Oyibo, this is the guiding principle. This is where Mazi Kano, it is very, very important that because this particular document, we have not really talked about it. We have taught our people, but that's why some people are still ignorant. Now, the reason why I brought our code of conduct firstly is because that is where they went to change our code of conduct from the first time. Look at what he said. He said guiding principle, right? This is guiding principle that I'm a Ejiofor cahoot with Madam Oyibo. Yeah, I will read this particular post, this particular post paragraph on this here. Where you see the blocks that some names that was blocked up there, but it said guiding, IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra worldwide, guiding principles. And listen to this. He said the following principle will guide the activities of IPOB until further notice as directed by my client, Nnamdi Kanu, the supreme leader of Indigenous People of Biafra. Everybody that hear this will think Onyendu is not dead. This is the first fraud that Ejiofor did. in America. And we're saying it tonight because a lot of people don't know. Now, I will come down here. On A, say all ESN contribution. That's why I show you the concerned IPOB finance. They shot at Madam Nenya before they start committing this crime, including when all this gang, or Omar the highway. This is where they committed a crime that incorporated with a Jofo. Today they're shouting accountability. This is where all our money they're talking about, the 1 million they're talking about, this is 747,000 US dollars that was sitting in that account before Onyendu was rendition. Now, Chikedoziem shut down this account and created Umeh account that was not approved from Onyendu. Nobody knows how much went into that account tomorrow morning. As we are speaking now, nobody can give account how much went into Umeh account. But I will read to you the crime that a Jofo committed against IPOB and what it did to our leader. All ESN contribution, donation, fundraising, monthly maintenance, not we call it monthly dues, including but not limited to ESN money in the Italy account because they stole our money in Italy. And for IPOB worldwide account goes into the USA national account under US Finance Department. But it cannot be because they has head of finance. But this is the crime they committed. Appointed by Mazi, which is the IPOB worldwide ESN central account till further notice. Because they think Onyendu is going to die. They already planned this out. Remember the day this happened, right? For those that are confused, every contribution, including, but not limited to the dues from IPOB North America Central, goes directly into the same account, the same USA account managed by Mazi Nnamdi appointed finance officers until further notice. The word until further notice is a decree because they think that Onyendu will not make it alive. Then B says the IPOB, the US 4 region will be supervised by Mazi Ndubisi Ejasi, the IPOB USA Central Regional Coordinator, to ensure that all the regional coordinators are in compliance till further notice. Everything is till further notice. IPOB head of finance. Now listen carefully. On C, it says IPOB head of finance should limit her contact to the national finance department of each country and must not have a direct contact with any IPOB state, zone, or unit, finance officers of any country. Now, this is very, very there. I don't think people don't realize actually what happened. You heard what I read. You heard what I read, right? You heard what I just read. 1 second, Mazi. Let's wait it there. Our brother Kenta, this guy is just Gosife just came in. Let's bring him in and introduce him to our people. Mazi Gosife, welcome to the program. If you can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you, Mazi George Umeh. Thank you. My apologies for joining quite late. I was struggling with my technology. I finally got it right. Thank you. Sorry for that.
Introduce yourself to Biafrans before we continue.
Yes, my name is Mazi Gosife Akekenta. I'm an IPOB principal officer here in Australia. So we serve the indigenous people of Biafra very humbly. So we are dedicated to the struggle. This is my first time of joining the radio or ever joining any radio. So thank you for having me.
Okay, you're welcome, Mazi Ndewa. Thank you. As we carry on to do what we are doing, what has happened here?
I can hear you very well, so I don't know.
You can hear me very well, but the screen, I can't see nothing on the screen. That's the problem.
Yeah. Like the videos just disappeared or thereabout.
Yeah. 1 second. It's like all of us are out. Just give me 1 second. Something went wrong, which I need to. I need to verify. What is this? I don't even know what happened. Oh, this is a bit of...
Mazi, can you hear us?
Yeah, I think Mazi Gosifa is on the screen, but there's something that just happened. I'm trying to sort it out.
But we can't hear you. Just in case,
yeah,
we can't hear you.
I know, but I wouldn't, because I need to. Everybody needs to be on.
I think he's having a kind of technical hitch somewhere.
Everybody needs to be on the screen. That's the most interesting part of it. Everybody have to be. Okay, 1 second. I don't know why this is happening. Anyway, I'm gonna carry on. Myself, I can't see myself. That's the problem.
We can't see you, but we can hear your voice.
Yeah, 1 second. There's something that went wrong. I'm just trying. Mazi Kananta. Mazi Kananta, can you hear me? Mazi Gosifa, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear, brother.
Okay, I think it's a hitch that happened, so everything is back to normal. Sorry, we apologize to that. This is a technical issue. When we brought our brother in, I don't know.
Mazi, you're muted. Mazi, you're muted.
Sure.
I can hear him.
I'm not muted.
Please, I can hear him. I can hear him.
Mazi Lawman, can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. Very well. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not muted. Maz, check your. I can hear you, Maz Takano, but if you don't hear me, but I can hear you. Yeah, we apologize for this technical hitch. Mazi Gosif, you're welcome to the program. Biafrans. This is our brother that lives in Australia. As he just rightly introduced himself. Now, where we are at this point in time, we're explaining what's happened in Umeh account, and like I've just read this first paragraph on this first page on this particular memo, this document that we have, because it's a document that it lives out there. So this is the first move they made, yeah, to change IPOB code of conduct by Chike Doziem. Chike Doziem approved this. The reason why I'm showing this document is that there's a voice to back it up, and which I'm going to play that voice. I'm going to play that voice now because I've just showed you this. This is the first move that a Jofor made with Madam Oyibo and cohort, if you could, everybody could remember what happened to Umeh account. And the money that was now our previous ESN account was $749,000 US. Everything is here. And if it comes to E, I can see fraudulent. It says every fundraising activities must be approved by the IPOB Finance and Audit Department until further notice. And these people are nowhere. These are people that were working under Madam Nenyanya. That's why I played Onyendu's first audio. What Onyendu said, people are holding our money in America. Now, why are they holding the money? Now, Mazi Kanunta, all of us are here. If it makes sense to everybody, I just read this particular guiding principle. And if you remember, Madam Oyibo, which I'm going to play the audio before now we'll start contributing into this issue. Let me just play Madam Oyibo's audio first. So we'll listen. I'm not going to play it for so long.
You want to have or see the document that gave me authorized representative. That's what you're looking for, honey?
Yes. The one that was
Okay.
the one that the lawyer gave you.
Yeah, the one that that they have to give me that authorization. Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Because you're not supposed to send me the something that I can use to go and open the account. He said yes. Then look at how, that's when he started explaining to me that draft.
Now, for somebody that are listening that don't understand, this voice you're hearing is Madam Oyibo Eze. And the person she was talking to is our former USA Finance Secretary, National Finance Secretary, Mark Peters, was questioning the documents that they used to open the account. Somebody pay attention. There's a full video of this they will have, but this one is cut short. That's why they pasted a lot of things on it to explain why. You can see the memo, the document I was just showing you is there.
Will come to me after those put it in the IPOB this thing and sign it. That's when he's going to give me that signed one, because of what is going on with him in Nigeria, he cannot use his own whatever to write him. All he did was that he writes a draft of what our leader wants, send it to a dossier, tell a dossier to take that draft. That draft does not have his letterhead or anything. Take the draft and put it in IPOB letterhead and sign it and give his own copy to use to make an account and give the lawyer the own copy to give for our leader. That's what. Then they continue to do up and up and up. Never do it.
Right. So who wrote the? Wait a minute. That's what I'm saying. Wait a minute. So who wrote the memo that you gave me? If you haven't been able,
let me tell you what happened. When a dozen could not do that, then I was crying because some people were calling me and cussing me out. Some people were abusing me and threatening and all that. I started on Sunday of that week. I honestly was heartbroken and crying. I called the Jofor and I called the US, the lawyers. I was crying on the phone. I said, I don't know what to do. Those years have not given me the papers and I have not opened the account. Many of my people are very confused. People are cutting me out. I don't know what else to do. That's when the lawyer in USA told the Jofor, there is something our leader signed with us that gave Madam Oyibo authorized representative. And the officer said, really, if I knew that such a thing was there, I wouldn't even go through a dossier. I would go through you guys. Because the only reason why I went to a dossier was we are trying to use signed it and started standing it. That's the only reason why he went to this. So the lawyer, Ejiofor, told the lawyer in USA, activate it. Please activate it. So they are the ones that activated this because.
Okay, so the lawyers here in America are the ones that did it.
Activated it, yes.
Okay. What they sent you a letter.
With both of them.
Right. Okay.
Ejiofor and this thing.
Right. So that means that. All right. So that means that they had a document that was signed.
Okay. Biafrans, it's very, very pathetic. The person that was questioning this lady was our former U.S. National Financial Secretary, which is Mark Peters. There's a 14-minute video where the whole conversation went through. But one thing you must take here is that Ejiofor, Ifeanyi Ejiofor was the man that masterminded. Just like today you hear they say they have code of conduct. That is not IPOB code. We don't have two code of conduct. We only have one code of conduct. And this is where Ejiofor perfected all the evil that is done, that is working IPOB today, right? This account we are talking about, you just had the voice now. I'm going to scroll down to actually tell you what happened. I've started from here, right? If you look into this from the beginning, we mapped out this from day one. This is on 19th of July, 2021. We documented all this. There's an article that Ikechukwu Biafra wrote here in the UK, The Enemy at the Gate. It's there. I incorporated it with this particular document. Now, if you go down, I'm going to roll it down as whatever they have done. $749,000 was our former ESN account before Onyendu was rendition. Can hear Onyendu voice when Onyendu spoke about the people holding our money in the United States. Now, Madam Oyibo confirmed that this is the money, the way, how they squander the money. Everything is here in this document, right? And the names of the people that were involved, all this, and affidavits they took about Onyendu to forge Onyendu's signature. Because Mark Peters resigned, I put it here, he said Latino, Mark Peters, sworn an affidavit to exonerate herself from these fraudulent activities committed against IPOB by her leadership. So this lady sworn an affidavit to exonerate herself and resign as IPOB National Financial Secretary in America. The document, we have all these things here, as everything was documented. Because when you hear people talking about accountability, the question is, who is actually holding IPOB finance? And these are the WhatsApp conversation, the conversation they had with Madam Oyibo. Everything was documented. That's why I'm scrolling everything here. The ones that are blank is the personal thing we don't want to show. But every other thing that happened, the lady paused every document was in our hand, how Madam Oyibo communicated with her, what they did, and all the money. Until tomorrow morning, we do not know. You can see the lawyers, the firm that was representing Onyendu, those that were our lobby then. Everything they did is documented. We have all these documents here. Everything is here. So the reason why I'm running this tonight, and there's a memo they wrote, on the regional in America, all these things was incorporated in this very document because it's a booklet. It's about 20. Yeah, this is where it stopped. So basically, this is where the issue started. Our finance and the problem after the issue of sit at home. The next work we had was finance, right? Which is where they took the $749,000 that was on the ESN account, now open Umeh account. Nobody knows how much that went to Umeh account till tomorrow morning. Yeah? So fellow comrade and laws of freedom, the reason why we're showing you all these documents again is to our people to assimilate. Because when you hear someone saying, Onyendu, they mentioning $1 million, we had this in 2017. The same method of Kifo and code brought is what they brought. But now we have evidence that is very daring. There's actually money that was sitting in new ESN money, $749,000. Nobody knows where that money is till tomorrow morning. Then they open Umeh account, which the money that was there, nobody know how much went into there because our head of finance was not, overviewing those particular accounts. And Onyendu made it clear that any account Madam Nene cannot see, that account he does not trust it. So Mazi, I don't want to say too much, because that's why we brought the receipt in everything we did. Those that are confused, if you want this document, we're going to make it publicly again, yeah, for everybody to go through it and read. And we'll have only one code of conduct. No, it hasn't changed until Onyendu said so. So Mazi Gesif is here. Mazi Gesif, probably, I don't know if you have had this, maybe it's new to you, but we'll give you time to say something. But Mazi Kanunta, I want to come to you first. Based on what we just see here, this issue, yeah, and we talked about code of conduct before we start this. As we start this program, we read our code of conduct, some chapters in them, and what a Jofo did, because now a Jofo, people don't know what a Jofo done in IPOB, but this is where the destruction started. Because when a Jofo was doing this, a Jofo have not seen Onyendu. If you remember, that a Jofo have not gone to DSS to see our leader. I want you to comment on this before we move forward, please.
Thank you very much, Mazi. What you said is you're absolutely correct. During the time Onyendu was renditioned, and from the time the visitation started, he never saw Onyendu until sometime in September. This September, October. But he managed to put all these things together because he was the one giving them message that Onyendu will not make it alive. And that was why you saw people like these cabals were ranting, making noise. So what he did was first to attack IPOB finance. That was the first thing he did. Because moving the money from where it was to Umeh account was just to stop everybody from having access to the money or knowing actually what is happening there. And I remember vividly, it was a very clear message from Onyendu. Said that I should tell these people, none of them should double into IPOB account. None of them should do anything with IPOB funds without the approval of Madamanya. I did that. I passed the message through one woman in America who later went and within the space of 2 days, she went and contacted Nelly of Febu that came up and said that I betrayed, I sold my brother, I sold our leader. That was how the thing started. So it was well planned. And if you could remember very, very well, during the time of Onyendu's rendition, the first time Onyendu was rendition, do you remember what happened? This lunatic called the manager from was dancing in the street, jubilating that his business will continue because they all planned what happened. All of them, they knew what happened. And that is where we find ourselves today. But so to say, they made the greatest mistake by signing Onyendu's signature and arrogating power to Rite Eze, which Onyendu never did. That could amount to even legal action against this man. That can even strip him his license to practice as a lawyer, if at all it's one. Thank you, Mazi.
Okay, yeah. So apparently, I'm not going to continue reading all the document. Like I said, the document is there because we need to be mindful of the time on this program. But specifically, like I said, tonight is about accountability. Now, Mazi Lawman, is there anything you want to contribute, please, towards this? And you go ahead. Mazi Lawman, where's Mazi Lawman? Give me a second. Mazi Lawman, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, please, can you go on, please?
Yeah, nothing more to say because I would have thought, some people have yet to know the depth of these things. So because of time constraints and what so, something like that. I mean, in due course, what I want to say here is, in due course, these very documents you have established, courtesy of Alpha Power Media, I think it would be published. I'm talking to our viewers, I'm talking to our listeners. In due course, this same document is going to be published for all and sundry, to see. to read as well. Because I understand some people have yet to understand, the magnitude of what has been going on post rendition of Onyendu, in his second missionary journey. So that's all I have to drop now. I think we're going to delve into salient issues as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Mazi Gesife, you're welcome one more time to the program. And like I said before, we have this. What we're discussing today is about just laying foundation on what has happened within IPOB finance. And as everybody knows, the rock going on. But this is specifically for those that still asking questions and those are confused. You're a principal servant. So, and yeah, I don't know if you are watching the program before you join us, or have you grasped anything on what we have just said now, based on what is happening. There's anything you need to add on just what you heard, yeah, you're welcome to say so. Before now, you have already introduced yourself, but things are going to take a different shape in due course. But there's anything you want to add on what I've just said? Because IPOB, there's a lot that have happened, and our people cannot process information. So that's why we're taking it bit by bit. Yeah, please.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for having me once again. Yeah, I think everything you showed and explained are quite comprehensive. Some of them may be a little new to me and to most people, given where they were happening and the type of information that were available at the time. That was why a few times that I've spoken, I've made it clear that these are some of the information that were not available to the people and especially those in the media, and they were acting based on how much information that they had at the time. And we all know that leadership is about being able to be accountable, and so that people can rely upon the decisions that you make as a leader. So people were taking information from some of these people who were, of course, making all these blunders and including all the plans that they had behind the scene. So people were taking information from them, and then people were acting upon these information, relying upon these information. But today we can clearly see that there are enough information out there, and then people are becoming aware of what's happening. So we have to leverage on that. Bring in people, explain to them, and then so that we can structure how we're going to, be able to progress, especially in the media. We have to, having known all of these things that happened, and then we need to be able to come to a round table, come to, a compromise where everyone understands how we're going to progress and what we're going to be doing, especially combating the recent onslaught against this very body and against the leader of this very movement. So I think that's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you. You've spoken very well. Yeah. Obviously, that's exactly what we are doing here. One thing I must tell you is that, our people, Onyendu said, if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in writing. Like I said, everybody was overwhelmed, right, when our leader was kidnapped and brought back to Nigeria. That is why we decided to bring all this program back again to our people. This information has been there because we combated it, but now is a new dawn. And I totally agree with you. And that's exactly what we are doing here. Tonight is about finance. We don't want to bore people with it because there's so much information to let out there, right? And this booklet, we're going to make it available on Biafra Radio, to people to actually go through it, because it's a document that has already been incorporated, you know what I mean? So and you can't duplicate it the way it's, you know what I mean? Now, all I have to say is that it's fundamentally to our people to understand, because one time if you pointing one finger to somebody, obviously three must be pointing back at you. Like you said, these individuals that is out there saying things that is unfounded, The point is this, that every single IPOB member must realize that IPOB is a grassroots movement and it has not changed because our leader has not changed. But we all must make sure that we pay attention to the direction our leader is pushing us, because that is the arrowhead of IPOB. We can't do otherwise. Anytime we're trying to implement things that was not his idea, we found ourselves, running out of circles. And that's what's happening today. Because I will give you one example. This is not the first time we've been in this position. When Onyendu was kidnapped in 2015, it started 2015. I think it was October. Onyendu was kidnapped October 12, 2015. I can't forget that very day. Then he metamorphosed from there till problems start coming in. This thing is seen, the same thing happened. Some people do not know that Chike Doziem was appointed, Onyendu appointed him from a collection center, which is Kuje Prison. That's why he made head of the United of State. It does not matter where our leader is. This is one thing what people must take home. But when things happen, all the things they have done today is the same method they used in 2017, 16, 17. It's not going to wash. So all I'm saying is that our people that are confused, this is the main purpose we started, to go back and bring in things that people are confused about. Because when you hear them talk about money, Onyendu spent $1 million. Onyendu is in private jet. I keep on telling people, if our leader and his whole household is materialistic, they want money, we won't be here talking about IPOB and Biafra. This is a long time ago. Onyendu could have moved on. He lives here. Our leader is a dedicated man. He had everything. He lost his home in the United Kingdom because of Radio Biafra. It's on record. We talked about all this last week. So like you just came in now, it is important people pay attention, because at the end of the day, we cannot help you. We'll give you information, but it's how you process it. But like what we have said, it's good you're here today. And going forward, we have to sit down again, like you rightly said, and see how we move forward with this. But we'll be having programs every week, and you are welcome to the program, because you're one of the principal servants of IPOB, and the ideas and all that is welcomed. But you can only implement ideas that have been authorized by our leader. Those that are doing saga, we are here to give them receipt, so that our people now can have what they can present to them. It's their job to do so, right? Mazi, is there anything you want to add?
No, there is nothing I want to add. It's nothing new. Yeah. People should know exactly that a lot of things happened in the past, and they're still doing the same thing today again. It's going to be a very big mistake for us to relax and watch them fool us again for the second time. I will always suggest it's always good to ask questions, because I knew in the past there was a lot of mistakes that happened from our people because they refused to ask questions. When you're not sure of what you are doing, it's always better to ask questions so that to be on the better side, to be on the side to understand exactly what you are doing, But most times, people don't ask questions. When they ask them to move, they start moving. And all of us will have that brain that we can see for ourselves and judge as well as we are seeing things, So this is very, very important, that we should try to, process information sometimes before coming out to talk. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mazi, we're wrapping up here. And the Mazi Lawman, is there anything you want to say? Because we'll be specific. Tonight was about accountability, like I rightly pointed out from before the program, and to present some evidence to back it up based on what has transpired, the overtime, things that are happening with IPOB, which we have already presented to you. We don't want to keep the program too long, so the information wouldn't be that too long. And we're going to break them down again and dish it out that people can actually assimilate these information after the end of the program. By tomorrow, you're going to see the short videos out there that will help our people to have something that could be, used against those perpetrating all these lies and blackmails out there, because it won't wash. They are the ones that are on the wrong side, and they will remain on the wrong side. And they know they have gone. Onyendu made a pronunciation, that pronunciation stands. 100 men, and that's way forward for now until otherwise. Mazi, Lawman, please.
Yeah, our viewers and listeners, we just had to highlight a few points as I did put forward. Subsequently, when the time does arise, this document is going to be published for people, especially those who are not aware. Mazi Kanonta just said something about asking questions. There are some people who are not aware, innocently I must add, they are not aware of what has been happening. Information, they say, is power. And I want to prompt you people listening, anybody listening, you may go forward to the last broadcast by our head of finance, Madam Nenayanya. I think update yourself with that, coupled with the future document we're going to upload, and most probably in subsequent times, the finance department, as they did come on air yesterday or a couple of hours ago, they will do justice to whatever that is pertinent to our accounts, our finances. So I beseech everyone to remain steadfast. There's one thing I tell people in this struggle. We all heard the voice of Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and we did come out. We all, some people would say, Onyendu, I'm standing by your right-hand side, I'm standing by your left-hand side, your left flank, and on your head, on your shoulders. This is the time to prove it. So those that are faithful, do not be deterred, because IPOB is still IPOB. So I wouldn't want to belabor the point, but this tonight's broadcast is just a sort of, a tip of the iceberg to what is going to come in the future. So stay tuned in our subsequent broadcasts, because we're not going to relent in bringing up updates, news, clarifications on this platform. So thank you, our listeners and viewers, and pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu every day. He's not there just because he wanted to be there. If you listen to Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or if you have been listening to him, there is one utterance he always makes. A true freedom fighter has one place amongst these three. It's either you are in the prison, it's either you are in exile, on exile, or below 6 feet. And I think Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has tested 2 over 3 of this to show you that this is a true freedom fighter. So remain steadfast as we follow Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, hoping that someday we're going to reach there. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Mazi, thank you. You've spoken very well. And I want to say something here. Some people might question, where is Onyendu giving his order from? From Sokoto prison. And he's our supreme leader. And that is why he's a leader. Let me ask you a simple question for those that are around him. Take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu out of the equation. What is your plan B to restore Biafra? I just want my question to you tonight. For those of you yapping about Onyendu, where he is and giving command, Mandela spent 27 years in prison. He came out and became a president. Even then, they didn't have internet in Rhode Island. So if you did not honor your leader that has sacrificed everything sacrificable in this world, some of you didn't see the video. I might find the video. Onyendu made it public announcement in Afariku Ibek. I will sacrifice anything sacrificable. The 2 parents were inside. He said, my mother and my father, it was in the middle. His wife was in the other flank. I got goosebumps all over my body. That word came to pass. And he's telling me, where is he commanding from? Where are you commanding from? In your own comfort zone? You think that's how freedom fighting work? Take a lesson on what happened to Donald Trump with all his family. They stood behind themselves till today. And he's telling me about where he's only commanding from. He's commanding from Sokoto prison. And Nigerian government knows that, and they can't do nothing about it, including yourself. So get that fact straight. If you cannot give me something else to work with, without Onyendu, without you mentioning Mazi, how and what are you presenting as Biafra case today? The answer is zero. Mazi Gesife, I know you have spoken, but give us your final word before we let you go, right? Because we are going to shut down the program, please, my brother.
All right, thank you. Just quickly, just on the back of everything that has been said so far, I think I need to make these few points clear. These are some of the things that are not not explained to IPOB families in zones, in units, in states, wherever they are. We must understand the core cardinal reasons for which we all fund this very movement. Of course, we are an organism, we are a movement, and this movement has to be funded. We have to be, of course, legitimately registered. Of course, that has to do with money. These are the reasons why IPOB is funded. Number one is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the body of the movement, needs to stay legitimate in every country where it is hosted or it is registered. Number two is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has to be, because we are running this organization so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will have all the time to go out there to speak to individuals that matter. We'll have all the time to talk to the people that matter. So we fund Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be able to make those moves. These are the reasons why we run this organization. We also run this organization to make sure that the family members back home who are harmed are looked after. We also run this organization, we also fund this organization to ensure that men who secure our lands are taken care of and are provided for. These are reasons for which we run this organization. We also run this organization to ensure that our platform for information dissemination is up and running. The Biafran Time and a host of other platforms that we have. That's why we fund this movement. We also fund this movement to ensure that our moves, our diplomatic moves in various countries led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that these things are happening. All the channels that we speak to, all the bodies that we speak to that mediate on our case, we fund this movement to ensure that all of those things are in sync and are happening at the same time. So for those of you who are confused, for those of you who don't get these explanations in your family meetings, this is an opportunity for you to understand so that when you see these lies fly around, you have all it takes to debunk them. You know where to stand. You would know exactly what to respond with. So that's exactly what we're trying to explain to you as we go forward. Just like host made it clear, as we go forward, we are going to be bringing you exciting segments where we will be explaining things to you from the first principles, how you need to understand, because most of you're not privy to most of this information and you are not opportuned to understand these things from the first principles. But the changes that are coming will look into some of these gray areas so that we can touch on these things, especially with our code of conduct where necessary, make the necessary amends so that our people can understand these things fundamentally. All right, I'll hold it here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi Ndewo. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Ndewo. I think Mazi Kanunta, give us your final thoughts, and so that we'll just shut off. I can't hear you.
Thank you very much for having us today. The main reason why we are on Biafra Radio is for an educational purposes. There's a place where people could come and get information. It's not a place for us to gossip and talk, but it's where people can learn and know exactly what is happening. And it's very, very important, like we said. People should try to follow events of times. People should try to listen to know exactly what is playing out. People should be out there to ask questions. People should try to understand something before they go out to say something they do not know. It's very, very important because this movement, this structure is not being built on hearsay. Because Onyendu will always say, none of them met of thank it up, but you bring out, if you pull that ball, we just show it to the dog. Say, this is what I got out from you, so that the dog will understand it. But people are coming up to say, oh, here say this one said this, that one, this one said that, without verification. It's the worst thing that can happen to us in this movement. And like I said, those people that messed us up, those people that tried as much as they could to steal from us, I know a day of reckoning is coming. They will pay for sure. So thank you, viewers, fellow Biafrans, wherever you are. And thank you, Mazi, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for coming. This is still Biafra Radio, and as a host of this program, and we are coming to draw the curtain here. And I thank all of you to be listening to us this evening, specifically laying down the foundation of the fraud committed by Paul Chike Doziem and Madame Oyibo, and the engineer to this whole thing, the masterminder, is Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Ifeanyi Ejiofor was the mole that came into IPOB through the zoo government. He was the man that they employed to destroy IPOB within. If you don't know it today, everything you see working in IPOB today, the man that masterminded it was Ifeanyi Ejiofor. And he has no apology to it, but time will tell. The next segment is about still ongoing, the aftermath of Onyendu rendition, because we need to let our people know. Just like you see, a lot of people don't know about this information. But we always have receipt to back up anything we say. We don't just come up here to mouth anybody. We told you so 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Today, all of you are now concurring with us. And we say we told you so. Without apology. I've got no enemy. All of us are under oath. And we know why we're here. We know who we had the voice and joined. And today, I challenge you. Some of them, they asked them question, what have they achieved since 5 years Onyendu was rendition? They couldn't answer that question. And I asked again, tell me what you can present, or how do you want to restore Biafra without mentioning Mazi and Kanu. If you do that, then maybe we'll have an argument. But if you cannot do that, please take a hike. And may I said one more thing, may Chukwuka Abama continue to bless and guide our supreme leader, Onyendu Mazi and Kanu, and entire household. You see, Okukano family will be immortalized in Biafra land because there's nothing else that supersedes it as I live. If there's a living Messiah, is that name. And I told some of you 3 years ago that the day you guys desecrated that Farouk Ibek, you sow a seed of decoy. And today, what is happening? Look at all of you. Some of you that have now regained your senses, thank God for that. But time will tell. May Chukwuka give him strength and guide all of us. And now that we see light, all we are asking is what belongs to us. We are fighting for just cause. For our unborn children, not for us anymore, to restore the kingdom of heaven upon the earth. That's what we're fighting. And it's from me from here. It's good evening. London. Mazi, there.
And they go.
Yeah, there were. And they go. The program has ended. Mazi, can't you know?
It's still running. It's still running.
No, it's not. It's ended. It's ended. You'll be doing that, but it's ended.
Okay.